Today we're going to learn about Introduction to System of Equations. One solution is independent, infinite is dependent, some is consistent, and none is inconsistent. What does this terminology mean? Well, a system of equations involves more than one equation. As you can see, we have two equations here. Y equals x and y equals negative x. Now let's graph both of them. So this is y is equal to x, and this is y is equal to negative x. Now, how many solutions are there? There's three cases. One solution, infinite solutions, or zero solutions. How many solutions does this system of equations have? A solution is a value which fulfills both of the equations, and that's going to be the intersection of the two graphs. So we see it intersects at 0, 0. So 0, 0 should be a solution. Now we can test this by plugging in 0, 0 for each of these equations here. So for the first one, y is equal to x, that's going to be 0 is equal to 0. That's true. And for y is equal to negative x, that's going to be 0 is equal to 0 as well, which is also true. So because the point 0, 0 fulfills both of these equations, we know that it's a valid solution to the system of equations. Now, this is actually the only solution. So for this first problem, it has one solution, which means it's independent and consistent. So how do you know if something's consistent or non-consistent? It's pretty easy. It's consistent if there's some solutions, so one or more, and it's inconsistent if there's none. Now let's graph the second problem. Now in the second problem, you see that these two equations look very similar, and when you graph them, they're actually overlapping on each other. Both of these equations are graphically the same. So in this case, it's not going to be one solution because every single point on the graph applies to both of them, both of the equations. So it's going to be infinite number of solutions. So for this one, it's dependent, and thus it's also consistent. Now let's graph this last problem here. This last system of equations is going to look something like this. Y is equal to 2x plus 4 is this graph, and y is equal to 2x minus 1 is this one. Now, if you look at these graphs carefully, you see there's no point to which both of the graphs intersect. So in this case, there is no solution, and so it's inconsistent. It's not independent or dependent because there's no solutions.